Hey, Jai Jai. How you doing, Jai? Good evening to you. Come on in. Hope everyone is doing well. Wow, tonight. Yes, we got a jam-packed call. Hey, Fredericks. Howdy, howdy. If y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. Hey, can you guys hear me? Want to make sure. We gonna get. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, May Mama. Nova Knickers. Understanding Self. I love that name. Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Let me know. Let me know. Awesome. Thank you, Peterbilt. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sandra. This technology. Sometimes we acting kind of funky. Wanted to make sure. Hey, Nova Knickers. We're gonna have you on tonight. I'm not sure if you had your meeting, but I would love to hear it from you. I know you said you'll be having a new bank story. I would like to have you on after the articles to give us your update wherever you're at in your process. You're an amazing founder, amazing leader. You will bless somebody tonight, Nova Knickers, with your update of your bank story tonight. All right, come on. Next level. Howdy. Thank you, Rosario. Appreciate it. Thank you, ER. Glad you can hear me. If everyone can give us a thumbs up and show some love to the new folks, to you folks. Hey, Dung Phi Tran. Awesome, awesome, Nova Knickers. You did have it. Congratulations. Would love to hear it. You are such an amazing leader. I know you will bless so many people, thousands of people tonight when you share your updated bank story. Awesome. Such a blessing to be a blessing. Y'all can hit that like button and let us know where you're from, Mimi, are you the Mimi that has been with us from a long time in Telegram? I just recognized your name, Mimi, because there is only one Mimi that I know. Excuse me. Whoa. Ah, you're from Vietnam. All right, Dung Phi Tran. I figured your name was Vietnamese, but I wasn't sure. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, Brick House. Welcome home. Hey, Lady Unique, the Queen Ager. I was looking for you. Yeah, I was looking for you last Saturday. I didn't see you. How you doing, Queen Ager? Come on in, beautiful people. Hey, Dee Dee. Oh. Okay. Wow. So sorry to hear that, Dee Dee. We will say a very special prayer for you tonight. Wow. We will say a very, very special prayer for you, Dee Dee. tonight. Wow. My heart goes out to you, Didi. I know you and Dale were so very close, together for a long time. My Lord. May God's angels surround him in the heavenly realm. We send you love and grace tonight, Didi. South, Wheezy, Anna. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, David. That rear has nothing to do with what is. That's South Florida. Come on in. Yes. If there's anyone that is here, you have questions, go ahead and type your questions into the chat. We have many leaders here that can answer your questions. If I don't see it, we got plenty of others here that will see it, and they can help you get your questions answered. Tonight's call is going to be, whoa. The IMF has reconnected communications with Venezuela. Jeremiah. Howdy. Hey, Michael, your question, will there be taxes on I don't know if that's a misspelled word, Fanat. If you could retype your question, Michael, so that we know exactly what you are asking, so we can give you your answer, my friend. Hey, Daryl Muhammad, come on in. The beautiful Brunette Grant, how you doing, my young lady? Hey, Darlene, come on in. Howdy, Neil. How's it going? Cali in the house. We got Vietnam, South Louisiana, Cali. Cheers, Peggy. Hey, Cheryl. Millionaire Q5P in the house. Millionaire, I feel so bad. For some reason, we couldn't get you into the Telegram room to give your bank story 2 weeks ago. You tried. I still don't know what name you were in the Telegram room, but millionaire, we still got to get you on to share your update, millionaire. Hey, Cindesimos, your first time here. Welcome. Crush. Howdy. Hey, be humble always. I love your name. What are my thoughts on Zimbabwe bonds? I'm going to ask you a question, Be Humble, to help you with this. Are you aware of what a collectible bond is? I would like you to answer that yes or no. Then I'll be able to give you some direction on answering your question, Be Humble. There will be taxes on, as of January 2025, Michael. There are new Forex exchange taxes for any foreign currency exchange over $200. We shared that by Goldilocks that dropped it prior to January 2025 directly into the Federal Register, which it is law. It actually came out the winter of 2024, went into effect January of 2025 officially. We actually showed the new tax law that Goldilocks posted. But yeah, so that's your answer, Michael. Control. Does Iran have to be settled first? No. This is a global. Countries are independent, sovereign. My good man, Control. There is not one country that needs to be settled first, needs something to do first before another country can go first. Every country is independent and sovereign on their own. Every country around the world are now Basel III compliant. So, does that answer your question, Control? If there's another one behind it, just go ahead and pop it into the chat. Jeremiah. And you asked for that direction last Saturday. Now you got your tier 1 banks in Antigua. Just follow the steps. Don't skip the steps, Jeremiah. Just follow to the T. Don't overthink it. It's going to be simple for you. If you have questions, no matter what, Jeremiah, just come back to the room, ask your questions for guidance, and we'll just guide you all the way to the finish line. Thank you so much, beautiful brunette Grant, for welcoming Tribe. Please don't forget to welcome the new folks that are coming in to the chat. Okay. All right, Mimi. Awesome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Michael. There's an echo? Okay, Mimi, that's your zip code. If you all can hit the like button, that tells YouTube to spread it far and wide. A.E. Williams, I've been waiting for you. I always love to see your name. A.E. Williams reminds me of A.L. Williams, the old finance and insurance firm. Okay, there's feedback. All right, let me work on that. Thank you so much for the feedback. The echo sounds cool. Oh, that's funny. The echo sounds cool. I think I might know. I might have to do a little something. All right. Is this better? If my sound is a little better, let me know. Or if you still hear an echo, let me know. But I think A.E. Williams likes the echo. Rex, I gotta see who you guys got in the draft, Rex. I'm doing great, thank you, my good man. The sniper is in the building. Yes, indeed. Would you elaborate? Okay. Be humble. Collectible bonds are bonds that can be purchased, that are commonly purchased on the internet, that clearly state that they are collectible. Collectible bonds have no value. The name is collectible. So just like a collectible, anything that's collectible, anything that's collectible in the finance world, it has no monetary value at all. Meaning, it's not valid. in any way, shape, or form. In fact, what you can do, real quick, be humble, is type into your search engine. In fact, let me type the word into the chat so you see the spelling. Type that into your search engine. Humble, be humble. Does a collectible bond, note, whatever you want to say, does it have any value? It's not even speculation. It has no value. None. Completely worthless. It's like someone collecting rocks. Pebbles, not gold, not diamonds. All good, Sniper. Hey, Sniper, do you hear echo feedback? Let me know. I want to see if everyone's hearing it or if it's just a few people. If it's just not everyone, then it's not on my end. Thank you so much, the beautiful brunette Graham. You're welcome, be humble. No, yeah, that's not Zach. I didn't see Zach and Amber last week, Brunette Grant. I was wondering about those beautiful folks. Their name is something different here. Brunette Grand, is there a feedback? Oh, it is echoing? Okay, hold tight. Thank you, She-Hulk. 1 second. I'll be back. Okay. Is it still an echo? Let me know. Sniper, if you can let me know if it's still an echo. Oh, it's fixed. Okay. Thank you, Neil. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If there's an echo, let me know. Woo. And be humble. You asked me about that. I honestly was thinking in a couple of weeks to possibly do because several months ago we did a show in Telegram, a podcast, a deep dive into certain bonds. And we showed the receipts from the Securities Exchange Commission. Okay, thank you, She-Hulk. Hey, Carrie. All right, thanks, Sniper. We showed the receipts, the proof, the evidence in black and white from the FBI, the SEC, that about bonds. Okay, thank you, Cinemos. I did that intentionally. Now I will correct it because I wanted to correct the double. Now this should be better. Man, y'all, teamwork makes the dream work. Y'all just helping me in real time. I just turned the music down. Thank you, Paula Cunningham, for the feedback. How's that now, Paula? I appreciate y'all helping me in real time to get it right for y'all. Is the music, the audio volume good? The music audio better? The echo's gone? Let me know, let me know. Before we get this show on the road. You're welcome, Paula. Thank you for your feedback. I appreciate you. Yes, yes. Still slight feedback? Some say it's much better, some say it's good. Thank you, David. It might be something on some of y'all ends, but oh, it's fixed now. Okay. Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all feedback. Thank you so much. That's okay. Ramon Davis, you're still fashionably late. Thank you, Sniper. Appreciate it. Thank you, beloved. Yeah. Woo. Come on in, beautiful people. Pop your questions, pop your questions. Let's get you some answers on what you may. Wow. Woo. That question on Industrial B in the building. Come on. Come on in. Yes. Thompson, 777. Howdy. Tattoo Pretty in the building. Let's go, Tattoo Pretty. Yes. Folks, we are going to hear from our, after the articles, our amazing funny farmer, Nova Knickers, has an update from her bank meeting. You don't want to miss it. Hey. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Welcome. Hey folks, we got Sonia that is new here from Albuquerque. Welcome, Sonia. Welcome home. The beautiful Brunette Grand. Thank you so much, the beautiful Brunette Grand, for always being so supportive to the community, to your tribe, through Super Chat. We appreciate you helping to get the word out and spreading the good love. She beat a man a few words. Queen Asia, how you doing? Yes, we're grateful to have you, Sonia. In 5 minutes, folks, for those that are here, we will begin at 9 o'clock Eastern, the official live. And at 9:05, we will begin the dialogues officially as well. Hey, I'm Grateful One, aka a man of a few words. Brunette Graham beat you today. Thank you so much, Grateful One, for being so supportive to the channel. You guys are tremendous leaders, founders. Thank you for helping to get the word out. You guys are so amazing. Ooh, I can't wait to get this going. You guys are going to be Venezuela, Iraq, Vietnam, and all global currency. The whole entire new global financial system, especially as a result of this war, which all wars are not by accident, but wars often shift the global financial markets, and this time is no different. No different. Yes. No different. Pop your questions. Feel free to pop your questions. Let's get whatever questions you have answered. Whatever guidance you need. What part of Vietnam, Dung Thi Tran, are you from? What part of Vietnam? We have the Lobster Lady, one of our founders who's from Vietnam as well. I don't see her here tonight, but she's one of our founding members, and she is from Vietnam. That's right, Sniper. Wars are opportunities. Hey, Next Level. Is choosing a prime minister their only holdup? I'm gonna help you to think, Next Level. Iraq has been choosing prime ministers for the last 3 or 4 years. What's the difference? Think about it. Iraq's had prime ministers for every 4 years, going back for as long as you can think of. The prime minister, president. Hey, try. Can you all help Next Level? What does the prime minister have to do with the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar? Every election, my good friend Next Level, every election, every new prime minister, every new president, it's always said out in Never Never Land that that's what's needed. That's not what their constitution says. You see it in chat? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, you're from Ho Chi Minh. All right. Dung Tran. Thank you. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Saturday Night Dialogues. It is Saturday, April the 25th, 2026. We've been here for a half an hour with answering questions, getting things situated, getting people guidance and the answers they are seeking. We will get kicked off in 5 minutes for the live. We have an amazing call for you tonight. Come on in. Get comfortable, kick your feet up, wipe your feet off, and get prepared for facts with receipts tonight, because we're going to, as always, show you on the screen the facts from Iraq, from Vietnam, from Venezuela, from the global financial system. We're going to show you on the screen tonight so you can see it live and in color. Iraq's prime minister, folks, is no holdup, has nothing to do with the evaluation of the Iraqi dinar. Nothing. We've shown this evidence from the Constitution of Iraq. Not rumors, not hearsay, not gut feelings, not nothing of any of the sort. Every election in Iraq, it's the same thing. Oh, the president is needed. Oh, the prime minister is needed. That is not garbage, it's hot garbage. There she is, Sophia. So y'all see Sophia 927? That's our lobster lady. Hey, Sophia, we have someone else that Dung Phi Tran is from Vietnam, just like you. Come on in, beautiful people. Come on in. In 3 minutes, we will get the official live kicked off. Good evening, Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? Hey, Tammy Cooney. Hey, Tammy, you're my new friend. Tammy, you and I had a little snafu last Saturday, and I had to come on back and kiss you on the cheek, Tammy. The Blessed one of our amazing founders, is in the building. That's right, beautiful brunette Graham. There's no delay, no can kicking, jibber jabber. Exactly. Awesome, Nikki. Good to see you, Nikki. All is well. In 2 minutes, we will get the live officially kicked off. Hey, Montclair. Good point, Montclair. Good point. Sophia, you already shipped the lobsters. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. As always, Sophia, aka our lobster lady. Thank you so much. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Garlic String Bean in the house. How you doing? Garlic String Bean. We got 1 minute and we get kicked off. Beautiful people, come on and get yourselves settled in. All right. Hey folks, good evening. It is Saturday Night Dialogues, and we are here officially getting kicked off. It is Saturday, April the 25th, 2025, and tonight we have an outstanding jam-packed call for you all. It is not something that you want to pause. You might not want to go to the bathroom and take a leak, whatever it may be. But let's get this call officially kicked off, and we will get going. We're going to start off with prayer. Father God, we thank you for allowing us to always, always, always be here to humble ourselves before you. Father God, we want to say a very, very special prayer and send our condolences and our love to Dee Dee, who lost her beloved husband Dale about a week ago, last Sunday, I believe, unexpectedly. We know that everything and all things are in your hand, and you have a purpose for everything greater than what we may imagine. We ask that you cover Dee Dee, give her as much peace that passeth all understanding, give her comfort, give her grace as she mourns and goes through this time of loss for her husband. And we ask that you keep her family and loved ones lifted, and as much as possible to keep them in peace. And we ask that you cover us tonight on this call and everyone that is listening far and wide. In your precious name we pray. Amen. All right, folks, real quick. Tonight, we're going to show you Goldilocks has prepared us this week with showing the actual proof of an announcement from the IMF, whereby the IMF has now reopened communications with Venezuela, and the Venezuelan Bolivar is absolutely affected by these communications. We're going to get into that. We're also going to get into Iraq and Vietnam and their currency updates and what they have been doing so far this week as it pertains to both of those currencies, to regarding their reforms, both Iraq and Vietnam and their reforms, and their bonds, the bonds in both of those countries, Iraq and Vietnam. Then we're going to touch on briefly on XRP and the purpose of XRP and how it is becoming increasingly more and more relevant to all global currencies. Real quick, Goldilocks QFS Dialogue Room, as you all know, is a read-only room. That's where we, for the last year and a half, going on 2 years, that is where we drop Goldilocks articles to break down every single day. That is where we were for 12 hours a day, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week, helping, guiding, showing, helping the members to understand what Goldilocks articles are, and also to prepare at the banks and their private banks with their relationships. That is the Goldilocks QF Dialogues Room. Then we have Goldilocks Global Banking News, the YouTube channel, which you are listening to on right now. We're at 2.8 million views over the last year and a half, almost 2 years. And then also, it is growing fast. I would like to quickly acknowledge some of our amazing members, founders, tribe, for last Saturday, supporting the channel through Super Chat, the beautiful Brunette Graham, Magic Logistics, a man of a few words, and Karen Nichols. Thank you all, beautiful folks, for supporting the channel, helping to get the word out, and the community, spreading it far and wide. We greatly appreciate you. Anyone that would like to support the channel, you're more than welcome, and we're happy you do so through Super Chat. I would like to also quickly acknowledge and thank Cameron. Last Saturday during the call, Cameron was new, and he shared where he was at within the eight steps and his successful progress that he has begun so far. He is, I believe, on step 4, and he was going to be reaching out to his wealth managers, and he came to the chat to get guidance, and he got that guidance from 3 beautiful ladies, Charlie's Angels, and I want to thank them as well. String Bean, I call her Garlic String Bean, Nova Knickers, and Sally I Am. Sally I Am shared her bank story last Saturday, and I was almost in tears. I almost got emotional. I had to mute because listening to her bank story, Because we know, some of us know the journey that Sally has been on. And as she said, she is truly a conduit. And folks, if you didn't hear her bank story last Saturday, she shared that her wealth manager told her that he is aware of the RV and he knows what's coming. So it was good for her. She established a very good relationship with him. We're so happy. We're so happy for you, Sally. And thank you so much for being such a tremendous conduit. And also, folks, we have the official website, Goldilocks Global Banking News.com. I'm going to quickly share with you all. I'm going to share my screen. One second, because I want to show you all a little something. It's going to be very important for those of you who want to establish your relationships with your bankers. You want to follow the 8 steps and be like hundreds of thousands of these folks from around the world who are successfully establishing their relationships. We are going to help you all in a very special way. And I am going to let you all know that the 8 steps are officially on the website, Goldilocks Global Banking News.com. And all you will have to do is when you, and I'm going to give you a quick announcement on this. All right. All right. All right. All good, all good. So if you guys can hear me now. She-Hulk, let me know if you can hear me now. Looks like we had a brief interruption in the sound, but I believe we are good now. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Okay, okay. She-Hulk, if you can let me know if the sound is good. All good. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We had a little quick interruption in the sound, but we are back in living color. All right, hold second, one tight. Hold second, one tight. Hold second, one tight. All right, beautiful folks, give me 2 minutes. All right, all right, all right. You all should be able to hear me now. My sound got bounced, but we are back. All right. Thank you so much, She-Hulk and Sniper, for letting me know we are good to go. And we are back officially. All right, real quick. So, let me. All right, all right. Doing so, but you will be able to access the 8 steps on the website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the call started, and we're going to come back to the 8 steps a little later. Uh, Hey, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Mic aux is working, but audio input is not. Audio input always worked before. Ah, there we go. All right. Thank you, She-Hulk. Appreciate it. All right. We're good to go. We should be good to go. Good to go. All right. All right. All right. Wow. All right. Now, you all should be able to hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. Let me know. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I think when testing, changing the audio earlier, screwed it up, but we're going to get rocking and rolling. All right. Hold tight. Hold tight. All right, real quick. Here we go. This is what I was trying to let you guys know. All right. This is the official Goldilocks Global Banking News. The 8 steps are now available right here. All you have to do is access the 8 steps, and it will include a Goldilocks weekly RV update, and it's $29 per month for those who want all the easy access to all the steps that everyone has taken to establish their relationships with their bankers. You'll click access and then just put in your name, email address, and you will have complete full access from that point forward. The questions for the wealth manager are included, number 7 for the 8 steps. Come to the room for your guidance. All right, beautiful people, let's get rocking and rolling. As we all know, where it all starts, currency revaluation is likely to be a priority for some members of this potential second Trump administration, mainly large in part because of the trade deficit, but weakening the dollar. And this is where it all comes back to, is the dollar getting weaker. As the dollar gets weaker, other countries' currencies get stronger. No matter if it's going to be the Dinar, if it's going to be the Bolivar, the Vietnamese Dong, all countries around the world, because the US dollar has been historically the dominant currency that's been used through trade. Once the US dollar is no longer the dominant currency used in trade, the US dollar gets weaker. And as the US dollar gets weaker, foreign currencies get stronger. So as the Trump administration clearly made it be known that currency revaluation is likely to be priority of the second Trump administration, we can see the weakening of the dollar right now. And what it's stating is that weakening the dollar could have far-reaching consequences, and it will send prices for imports soaring, to invite retaliation possibly from countries such as Iran. This is an article, folks, for new folks that this is your first time here. This is your first time hearing this. This article is from April the 15th, 2024, months before the presidential election, before Trump was even reelected. This is the base and the crux of it all. All right. Now we're going to come on over to the amazing, our young lady, the one and only Miss Peculiar Ram. I'm going to join her live, and we're going to get to the chat. Join me in the main room, Peculiar Ram and Sniper and She-Hulk, if you will, please. Sniper, you can unmute, my good man. There you go. And then I see you, Peculiar Ram. All right, Peculiar Ram, you good? You can unmute as well, my good lady. You ready to rock and roll? How was your birthday? All right. Yes, indeed, beloved. Let's rock and roll. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna get into and folks, we're gonna get into Venezuela. Just so that you're aware, I'm gonna make sure that for some of you that may not know, there are 4 agencies that oversee the currencies from all over the world. Therefore, these 4 agencies are absolutely responsible for how global currencies move. The IMF specifically is the agency that sets global monetary policy for global currencies. Those 4 agencies that oversee all currencies: the IMF, the World Bank, the Bank of International Settlements, and the U.S. Treasury. The IMF and the World Bank are now re-engaging with Venezuela. Go ahead, young lady. Floor is yours. Yes, indeed. Now we're getting to Venezuela and exactly what Venezuela is doing. And the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank have now re-engaged. And folks, don't think it's a coincidence that several months ago, where the Trump administration went and ousted the former President Maduro of Venezuela, all of a sudden now, the IMF and the World Bank, the 2 of the 4 global agencies that oversee the revaluation of all currencies, is re-engaging with Venezuela. Go ahead, young lady.
(2019) potential impact.
Hold on 1 second, beloved. People can't hear you on YouTube. 1 second. That's okay. 1 second. Hold tight. No, that's me. It's me. Let me fix it. Let me try to fix it in the audio sound here. Hold tight. No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. Okay. All right. Sniper and Peculiar Ram, say something and let's see if we can hear. Let us know if you can hear Peculiar Ram now on YouTube. Can y'all hear Peculiar Ram?
Let me know if you can hear me,
Hold on.
everybody.
Hold on 1 second, Peculiar Ram.
Okay.
1 second. 1 second.
Let me put my
Hold on, I'm gonna have to come up
headphones
now.
back in. All right, give me 1 second to put my headphones back.
You good, Peculiar Ram? You good? You good? You good?
Hopefully.
Okay. Oh, you're going in and
can hear
out.
me.
Okay.
Am I still going in and out? Am I good now?
Yeah, you're good now. They can hear you now.
Okay, I was ruffling with the mic for my headphones. 1 second. I was putting them in.
All right, they can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so yeah,
All right, let me get it back. All
it
right.
was your headphones. Okay, you're good.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. Thank you, Tribe. Man, y'all so amazing. Y'all just jump on in and get us right. Okay, you're good.
All right, so, all right, let me scroll back up. I'm sorry.
Just start from the beginning. The resumption.
All right, one second. I don't know why it pushed me all the way up to last week. Okay. The resumption of ties between the IMF and World Bank with Venezuela under its interim government, led by acting President Delcy Rodriguez, marks a significant step toward reintegrating the country into the international financial system after a 7-year pause since 2019.
Speaking of pause, because this is very important. The resumption of ties, folks, between the two of the four agencies that oversee the evaluation of currencies, the IMF and the World Bank, the resumption of ties between the IMF and the World Bank with Venezuela under its interim government, led by its now acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, marks a significant step toward reintegrating Venezuela into the international financial system after a 7-year pause since 2019. This is very key. Then she's going to share with you the potential impact on the Venezuela Bolivar. Go ahead, young lady.
Potential impact on Venezuela's currency and global markets. This development is likely to help reinstate Venezuela into the global currency and financial markets, but its immediate effect on strengthening the bolivar's exchange rate will probably be limited and gradual.
Mm-hmm.
Key reasons it could help. It paves the way for a full IMF economic assessment, the first in about 20 years, technical advice, and potential access to funding, including billions in frozen special drawing rights, estimated at around $5 billion by some analysts.
This is very important, folks, to understand. So when Goldilocks is stating that its immediate effect on strengthening the Bolivar's exchange rate will probably be limited and gradual, Goldilocks is being conservative, but also at the same time knowing right here it paves the way for the full IMF economic assessment. This is the assessment. This is the assessment that the IMF already did on Vietnam last year, when the IMF gave Vietnam the green light to float the Vietnamese dong. They also did the same assessment on Iraq the year before, and they told Iraq what they needed to do regarding the Iraqi dinar in order for the dinar to become stronger and to begin to move in value. Now they are talking about doing the same thing with with Venezuela through the economic assessment. What this economic assessment will be is a consultation, and that's the actual name of it. It's the IMF Article 4 consultation. This is where the IMF, and it tells you, they provide technical advice and also other advice to a country on what they need to do to strengthen their currency. That is where they are at in the steps. The IMF is in the steps with Venezuela right now. Go, young lady.
Greater legitimacy from multilateral institutions can attract foreign investment, improve debt restructuring prospects. Venezuela faces massive external debt, and boost confidence among international banks and markets. Enhanced data transparency and policy reforms, often encouraged by IMF engagement, could eventually support macroeconomic stabilization, reducing hyperinflation pressures and aiding a more stable exchange rate regime.
This is where the exchange rate of the Bolivar will become stronger and stable through the IMF assistance through reforms. Same reforms that they've helped Iraq and Vietnam with. Now the IMF and World Bank are engaging Venezuela for the same thing. All right, you can continue, young lady.
Okay. Limitations and challenges. The Bolivar has suffered severe depreciation and loss of confidence due to years of economic mismanagement, oil dependency, sanctions, and hyperinflation. Rebuilding trust takes time and requires credible domestic reforms beyond just IMF World Bank recognition. Short term exchange rate gains are uncertain. Any strengthening would depend on revenues, fiscal discipline, and broader investor sentiment. Historical precedents show that multilateral re-engagement helps, but does not automatically reverse deep currency weaknesses without sustained policy changes. In summary, this is a positive signal for long-term reintegration and potential currency stabilization, but it is not a quick fix for raising the bolivar's value.
Not a quick fix, meaning that they will have to implement the reforms that the IMF recommends in order for the value of the Venezuelan bolivar to raise. That is what they are engaging now. Go ahead.
IMF and World Bank resume ties with Venezuela, a step toward economic reintegration.
The step towards economic reintegration, folks, is the reintegration of the Venezuelan bolivar. I'm going to be very clear. Go ahead, young lady.
Okay. Washington, D.C., April 2026. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and the World Bank announced on April 16, 2026, the resumption of formal dealings with Venezuela under its interim government, led by acting President Delcy Rodriguez. I'm messing up that word.
No, you did good. You did a
Ties
good
have,
job. You did a
I
good
feel
job.
like when you said Rodriguez,
Oh,
like
I sounded sophisticated
you
just
sound
saying.
more native. Yeah, like ties have been severed in 2019 amid international disputes over the legitimacy of the country's leadership following disputed elections.
Mhm.
IMF Managing Director
Kristalina
Kristalina
Georgieva.
Georgieva,
Mhm.
I got it. Oh, snap. They stated that the decision,
Mhm.
guided by a majority of member views, allows the fund to re engage in ways that could ultimately benefit the Venezuelan people through economic assessments and potential support.
Mhm.
The World Bank followed suit, aligning with the IMF's process.
Folks, when you have two of the four major global agencies, the IMF and the World Bank, both engaging with Venezuela at the same time, that is unprecedented. Usually, what happens when countries are re-engaged by global financial institutions like the IMF and the World Bank is usually one or the other. But this, you have both. And when it, even though there are four major agencies that oversee all global currencies, IMF, World Bank, BIS, and the US Treasury, the IMF and the World Bank are, I'm not going to say they're more important than the BIS or the US Treasury. I'm not going to say that because they're not. However, these are executing agencies, the IMF and World Bank. They provide the resources to a country like they did with Iraq, like they did with Vietnam, with other countries, in order for countries to strengthen their currencies and their countries. Now they're doing that with Venezuela. Go, young lady. This move.
This move ends a 7-year isolation and opens doors to technical assistance, data collection, and possible financial aid, including access to frozen special drawing rights. Venezuelan officials hailed it as a diplomatic achievement and a step toward normalizing the economy.
Step towards normalizing the economy. Folks, think of this. When you have a country like Venezuela that has been desolate for the last so many decades under a very corrupt dictatorship previous regime, and I would like for you all to think of the answer to this question. In a situation like that, and I think Peculiar Ram, you know where I'm going with this, and I'm gonna ask you, Peculiar Ram, you're so astute. Venezuela, and what their previous their currency was desolate, the country was desolate. a dictator was in leadership, people flocking from Venezuela to the U.S. and other countries around the world, barely electricity, running water. How could their currency have revalued before the normalizing of their economy, and also before the agencies that oversee all currencies will re-engage them? How is this possible? I'm asking you. Can you explain this?
It, it, it could not be possible. It's putting the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So no, it could not have revalued before now, and it cannot have appreciated before now.
Right. And folks, I hope you see the picture here.
Mm-hmm.
It may challenge to a certain degree what you may believe the revaluation of currencies is. Because if you have a country, it's like you have a car sitting in your driveway, it doesn't run. It looks like from the outside that it might be operable, but you open the hood and you got you ain't got no transmission, but you got an engine, wires pulled out of the car, tires are flat, it might be sitting on bricks.
Yeah.
That was Venezuela. So that's how Iraq was after the 2003 invasion. So if Venezuela has been that broken down jalopy sitting in your driveway, isn't there a process for that car for that car to be restored, repaired, become operable? Or do you
Absolutely.
or because you ran, does a mechanic just come and snap his fingers and the car just operates just at a flip of a switch? Does it work like that?
Oh no, baby. It takes time and effort
Ah.
and reforms.
Ah.
I guess you could say.
Yes. Okay.
They call this the mechanic special.
Oh my Lord. The mechanic. Go ahead, continue.
Analysts
So silly.
Analysts view the resumption as a foundation for debt restructuring and attracting investment. Though Venezuela's challenges, including high debt, inflation, and currency instability, will require substantial reforms.
Didn't you just say that they needed reforms?
I sure did, didn't I?
You must know some things.
A little bit, a little bit.
So, folks, it says including the Bolivar faced high debt, inflation, and instability. That instability, ladies and gentlemen, is a deadbeat car in the driveway. It's not stable. There's no snap of the finger and that car all of a sudden is a brand new Cadillac. Don't work that way. There's a process of reform. There's a process of repair. There's a process of getting it prepared to get on the road, to run.
Yeah.
That is what happened with Iraq after the war. The IMF went in and has helped them to repair and reform. The World Bank helped Iraq repair and reform. The U.S. Treasury helped Iraq repair, reform. Same thing with Venezuela now. Go, young lady.
The development signals growing international recognition of the interim administration and could help Venezuela gradually re-enter global financial markets.
See, folks, and this is where having relationships with the actual bankers who are involved with these currencies, the emerging market currencies, this is where your relationships come in. This is where exit strategies come in. I know some of you may not be familiar what an exit strategy is, but this is where you can exchange your currency, know when, at what rates to exchange your currencies at, multiple times. there's going to be multiple opportunities with the Bolivar. There's going to be multiple opportunities with several currencies.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where not having relationships is going to be the downfall of many people who have currencies. Go ahead, young lady. You can continue.
I think that was it of that one.
Yep. Oh, what I want to do, I'm glad you said that, because what I want to do, I am going to briefly touch on this one right here. I am going to actually, I'm going to quickly touch on this one right here. This is one of the articles, the links. One of the links that Goldilocks shared on Venezuela. And it states, the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank have announced the resumption of ties with Venezuela under the Latin American nation's interim leader. The Washington, D.C. based financial institutions, meaning the IMF and World Bank, severed ties. They severed ties with Caracas, which is Venezuela, in 2019, amid a split in the international community over whether to support the former president Nicolas Maduro or Juan Guaido as the country's rightful leader following disputed presidential elections. Now here we go. The IMF managing director, Kristalina Georgieva, said in a statement on Thursday, this was last week, folks, that the institution, meaning the IMF, had resumed dealings with Venezuela under the administration of acting President Delcy Rodriguez. Do you think it's a coincidence, folks, that Maduro, President Trump ousted Maduro and got this particular president? I wouldn't say he got her in there, but she's there, and now the IMF is there involved. This important step, guided by the views of our members, this is the IMF speaking, allows the fund, the International Monetary Fund, to re-engage in a way that can ultimately benefit the Venezuelan people. This is huge, folks. This is huge. The World Bank announced that it would follow the IMF's lead in a statement shortly afterwards, saying it had been guided by the outcome of the fellow leaders' decision-making process. And this is the new president of Venezuela. The announcements come several weeks after United States President Trump and his administration lifted the sanctions on Rodriguez, the latest move by Washington to confer legitimacy on the acting leader. So just think about it. The new president of Venezuela had sanctions on her, and the President Trump, lifted those sanctions. Lifted the sanctions on her, sanctions on Venezuela. The IMF and World Bank are re-engaging with them. We all know what's going to come. Now, let's get into Vietnam. In fact, tonight we have our amazing lobster lady, Sophia, from Vietnam. And then we have another member from Vietnam. Let's go get on into Vietnam. Floor is yours.
All right. Vietnam's connection to FTSE Russell upgrade. The crypto market pilot and the FTSE upgrade are linked by a shared goal, enhancing market transparency and investor access.
Now, secondary emerging market. For new folks, let me explain what this is, because I know this may be fresh to some of you, and I don't want this to go over your head. Just earlier this month, Vietnam was officially, the review for them to enter what's called the FTSE Russell was official, which it'll be implemented in September of this year. Well, what is the FTSE Russell? The FTSE Russell, ladies and gentlemen, is a global stock exchange. So some of you, if you're familiar with the New York Stock Exchange, if you're familiar with the London Stock Exchange, these are global stock exchanges that countries and their currencies from around the world are connected to. So think of global currencies and global stocks of a country that trade on the open global financial markets every single day in the stock exchange, in the London Stock Exchange. This is trillions of dollars every single day that's traded in stocks of certain countries. But what backs those countries' stocks? Their currencies. So, if you ever heard of the London Stock Exchange, for example, the FTSE Russell is owned by the London Stock Exchange. So when Vietnam will be integrated into this global stock exchange, that now gives the Vietnamese dong access to global exchanges and countries and the global financial markets, unlike the dong has ever before. The Vietnamese dong didn't have access. It didn't have the demand around the world in these global stock exchanges until now. The FTSE Russell upgraded Vietnam's economy from what is called a frontier market. I'm in layman's terms, let's say bootleg market. Let's say raggedy market. Let's say a market that needed some love. Vietnam's market didn't have that. But what happened over the last 20 plus years is something magnificent in Vietnam. Vietnam has been very proactive, very forward thinking in their global trade. So much so that Vietnam's economy is the fastest growing economy in Asia and one of the fastest growing economies in the world, as a result of the reforms that Vietnam's government implemented last year. It was momentous. It was historical. The global stock exchange, the FTSE Russell, upgraded Vietnam's economy and their economic status from frontier to emerging market. So they went from a C-class economy to, let's say, a B+ economy by emerging market. If they were a Class A economy, they would be in the status of the United States. But they're in a Class B for emerging market, which is huge for the Vietnamese dong. I just wanted to preface that so you understand the magnitude and the backdrop of the FTSE Russell. This is where the Vietnamese dong will be on a whole nother level around the world. Countries and investors around the world can access the Vietnamese dong, whereas they couldn't before because the Vietnamese government didn't allow the Vietnamese dong to be accessible. Hence, the poo-poo rate that the dong had. Go ahead, young lady. But that's going to change. Go ahead.
Secondary emerging market status. This reclassification means Vietnamese equities will be included in the FTSE Global Equity Index Series, which is widely used by the U.S. and global institutional investors.
Now, this what the beautiful young lady just read to you all. It confirms the secondary emerging market status. It's an upgrade, official upgrade of Vietnam's economy, which is an official upgrade of the Vietnamese dong. But it's not an upgrade to the dong and just poof, it's just there. No, it is where the reclassification means Vietnam's equities will be included into the global equity index, which is widely used. So the global index is used by the U.S., which is the largest economy in the world, and global institutional investors. Now the U.S. and these global institutional investors will now be able to access the Vietnamese dong and use the Vietnamese dong through trade and financial transactions around the world. They weren't allowed before because the dong was cut off. Even though it was quote unquote international, it is. It just didn't have it didn't have a strong rate because the access to the dong was cut. It was restricted. Now Vietnam has removed the restrictions on the dong so that the global markets and these investors can have access to the dong. This is where the rates of currencies move through supply and demand. What's going to happen with the Vietnamese dong is the demand will go up because now the largest economy in the world can access it, the U.S. When President Trump negotiated with Vietnam last summer on the tariff deal, he announced that the U.S. now has full market access to Vietnam's economy, meaning the restrictions on Vietnam and the dong have been lifted. And the global institutional investors are, for those of you who have wealth managers, for those of you if it's a private wealth manager at a private bank, if it's a private institution, if it's a public institution, if they've come to your home, if you've gone out to events with them, with these bankers, if you have those relationships, if they've sent you emails and given you updates on emerging markets, I want you to let it be known in the chat, because these global institutional investors that you have relationships with, these are the institutions, these are the private bankers, these are the public bankers, these are the bankers that are involved with all currencies, moving them into trillions. If you have those relationships, type relationship in the chat. Let people know that you have your relationships with these global institutional investors that move the markets. They move the dong. They're going to move the dinar. They're going to move the bolivar. Because many of you who have your relationships with the global institutional investors, you got their names. You got their cars. Like I said, if you was the beautiful brunette grand, you invited them to your home and fixed them cheesecake. I'm jealous, but she did. Peculiar Rand met hers at the mall when he drove 2 hours to come meet her and her daughter. What brought his daughter? Mm-hmm. You know that's your relationship with your banker, Peculiar Rand. That's a global institutional investor.
Absolutely. Yep.
Institutional grade frameworks. You can go ahead.
Okay. Institutional grade frameworks. The pilot program for crypto assets governed by resolution number 5-2025-NQCP introduces high entry barriers for exchanges, such as a VND 10 trillion capital requirement, approximately 400 million.
Let me explain what this is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, 1 second, beloved. Folks, this pilot program for crypto assets, this is digital. Remember, we're going into a new digital banking system governed by this resolution, number 5-2020. That's the reforms that it's talking about. It introduces high entry barriers for exchanges, meaning that these global institutions, these global institutional investors, now they want to get into the Vietnamese dong, they want to get into the VND game, they got to come to the table with at least 10 trillion dong. Not 5 trillion, not 2 trillion dong, not 500. No. They got to come to the table with 10 trillion dong. Go ahead, young lady.
Oh, well, basically, yeah, 10 trillion capital requirement and a 49% cap on foreign ownership.
So Vietnam now is letting these global institutions come into the game to invest in their economy, but they can't come to the table. That's like, ladies, that's like when you were in grade school or high school or something. You remember when a guy gave you a ring, put it on your finger, but he got the little ring. It's a one of them plastic rings with a piece of candy. He got out the bubble gum machine and he put it on your finger. Talk about he want to get married. That was Vietnam before. Now you got to come to the table with 10 carat. You got to come to the table with something that's going to make you have to put some dark shades on because it's blinky bling and your eyes can't see because them diamonds are so bright. What Vietnam is saying, for y'all global investors, you better come to the table with at least 10 trillion dong, because they know, Vietnam knows their worth now. They know the value of their economy. Fastest growing economy in Asia. One of the fastest growing economies in the world. These global investors are jockeying to get into the Vietnam economy, and they're there. Many of the major corporations are flocking to Vietnam now. It's like yesterday's price is not today's price, was what Vietnam is saying.
Basically.
So now 10 trillion at least. And guess what, folks? There's plenty of institutions all coming to the table because they know what's going to happen to the Vietnamese dong and the Vietnam's economy. Go, young lady.
Regulatory milestones. Key steps that satisfied FTSE Russell included the rollout of a non-pre-funding model for foreign institutional investors and improved trade settlement processes. Analysts estimate the FTSE upgrade could trigger $1.5 billion in passive inflows and up to $6 to $8 billion in total foreign capital. These reforms place Vietnam on par with major emerging markets like India, Indonesia, and China, reducing its dependency on single trading partners and lowering the cost of capital for domestic firms.
Now Vietnam will be in the ball game with India, Indonesia, and China. They actually surpassed them. Now. And what Goldilocks says here, all trading and payment of crypto assets, all that, folks, all this has to be in dong. All the trading, 10 trillion, no USD, all in diggity dong. Yes, Lord. All right. Go ahead, young lady.
When emerging markets sell bonds internationally, it often causes their local currency to appreciate, revalue upward in the short term. Though this effect depends heavily on whether the bonds are denominated in local or foreign currency and how the proceeds are used.
The bonds now, these are real bonds. These are real government bonds, not junk bonds, not James Bond, real bonds. These are real government denominated bonds that are not accessible, folks, on the internet. They are not accessible on the internet. These are real bonds, government bonds. These are the bonds that back and causes a currency to revalue. They are now being pumped into heavily. Go, young lady.
Okay. Vietnam regularly sells or issues government bonds denominated in the Vietnamese dong, the VND. These are domestic sovereign bonds auctioned primarily through the Hanoi Stock Exchange by the state treasury under the Ministry of Finance.
Pause 1 second, beloved. Folks, these are government issued bonds that are auctioned through their stock exchange. There's a difference between a government bond through the stock exchange that only a government and regulated entities have access to versus a collectible bond on the internet that anyone with a credit card or debit card can access, even criminals. Different ball game, folks. These are real government bonds. These are real bonds, period. Go, young lady.
They are almost exclusively issued in local currency, the VND, with tenors typically ranging from 5 to 15 years and occasionally longer, though longer maturities have seen weaker demand recently.
Let me explain what this means, folks, and pay attention very closely to what I'm about to share with you, because I'm going to touch on this briefly about bonds. And I mentioned this before in our Telegram room over the last year and a half, 2 years, in the discussions about bonds. Pay attention very carefully. Bonds, all real government bonds, have a maturation date. It could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, where that bond matures at that date. So let's say, for example, it's a 20-year bond. When the bond is issued, that bond in 20 years is then at that time mature. So that means it can become due. So every single year over that 20-year period, that bond gains interest and value. So that in that 20-year period, or at the end of that 20-year period, that bond holds and what's called an intrinsic value of a certain amount. See, when in your hometown, if they need roads, bridges, tunnels, if they need street lights, traffic lights, whatever it may be, any improvements, it's all paid for by bonds. You don't see it, but that's how it's done. Your municipality will float a bond, 5-year, 10-year, whatever it may be, to pay for those improvements. And it's paid for through your tax dollars, because that's why your taxes almost every 2 years through inflation increases, and that increase in those taxes in your municipality affords to pay for those bonds. It's the same thing with real government bonds. They have a maturation date for when that bond every single year matures up until its final maturation date. Any of the bonds that any of you have purchased off of the internet, if it does not have a maturation date, well, I'm not going to say that, because if it's bought off the internet, it's not a real bond. But they don't have maturation dates. No collectible has a maturation date. The reason why it matures at a certain time frame, because the financing of those bonds cannot be infinite. It must have a time period for when it expires, like milk. It cannot go on forever. That is not how the finance world works with bonds. You don't buy a bond in 1990 and expect it to redeem it in 2088. Because it has a maturation date on it. Understand and know what you have invested in when it comes to these so-called bonds that you're purchasing off of the internet. Go, young lady. I just had to say it.
Of course. In Q1 of 2026 alone, Vietnam raised over 80 trillion VND, about 3 billion US dollars, through such auctions, on track toward an annual target of around 500 trillion VND. This continues a pattern of significant local currency issuance, including a strong performance in 2025. Impact on the VND exchange rate. Issuing VND denominated bonds has a generally positive or stabilizing effect on the dong's exchange rate for several reasons. It attracts domestic investors, for example, banks, insurance firms, and pension funds who buy the bonds using VND.
So who buys the bonds? Hold on a second. Who buys these bonds?
Domestic investors.
Okay, who else?
insurance firms, pension funds, and banks.
So these large institutions, banks, insurance firms, pension funds, who they all have unlimited money, they buy these bonds. Let me ask you this question, Kiran. Do they buy these bonds off the internet?
No,
Okay. Go ahead. Continue, please.
no. This increases demand for the local currency and helps absorb excess liquidity without requiring foreign capital inflows.
Mm-hmm.
Reduces reliance on foreign currency borrowing, lowering external debt risks and potential repayment pressures that could weaken the VND.
Mm-hmm.
By funding the government budget domestically, it supports fiscal needs with the State Bank of Vietnam.
Mm.
While the State Bank of Vietnam focuses on managing the USD VND rate through interventions, such as selling USD reserves or forwards to prevent sharp depreciation. However, if yields remain low or demand is weak, as seen in some recent auctions, it may signal limited investor appetite, indirectly pressuring monetary policy. The SBV has faced VND depreciation pressures from other factors like USD shortages, gold arbitrage, and trade dynamics, often intervening to stabilize the rate rather than letting it float freely.
Okay.
Overall, robust local bond sales help insulate the currency from external shocks and support a managed exchange rate regime, though they do not eliminate broader pressures on the VND.
Thank you, beloved.
You're welcome.
What these bonds do, these real government bonds do, is they help to insulate the Vietnamese dong or whatever currency for whatever country that floats their or sells their own government bonds to major institutions, so that those bonds can stabilize their currency. And now these countries like Vietnam, Iraq, Venezuela, several countries are doing the same thing with bonds and their countries to stabilize their currencies, knowing these countries know what's going to happen they know what's happening with the global financial market and the new digital asset based banking system, because they know the currencies will be integrated into the systems, and these bonds are going to provide the foundation and the support of those currencies. All right, appreciate it, beloved. We're going to get to Iraq, and the sniper going to come up right behind you, right?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate you. You can go on in to the chat and do your thing. Appreciate you, beloved.
Sounds good. All right, good night.
All right, yes, ma'am. All right, sniper, you ready to rock and roll? Let's get to Iraq. Folks, we're going to get into Iraq. And what Iraq's doing, similar. Go ahead, young man. Iraq is making.
Yes, sir. Iraq is making a steady and encouraging progress towards a stronger, more resilient economy, with recent initiatives positioning the Iraq dinar for greater domestic confidence and long-term value support.
Mm-hmm.
The government and central bank of Iraq, CBI, continuing expanding local dinar denominated bonds to finance the public deficit responsibly, tapping into domestic savings and reducing dependence on external dollar debt.
Now watch this. Sniper, is that not Iraq doing the same thing that Vietnam is doing? The CBI, the Central Bank of Iraq, continue expanding local dinar denominated bonds. So you have Iraq and Vietnam, as we've seen, and Sniper, you've called it out several times, where Iraq and Vietnam, on these lives, all these calls for the last year and a half or so, where you see when Goldilocks shares the articles, the latest and the greatest between Iraq and Vietnam, they seem to both do the same thing around the same time with their economies and their currencies.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, you can
Every time you see it.
Mm-hmm.
The shift fosters financial deepening and help curb dollarization, as citizens and institutions increasingly hold dinar assets.
As citizens and institutions increasingly hold dinar assets, that goes to show you the demand and the confidence in the dinar is going up in Iraq, because more institutions and the citizens are beginning. Well, the citizens really hold them a lot, but the institutions are the main ones. Now we're getting to Oliver Wyman. Go ahead. Complimenting.
Yep. Complementing this, the CBI's partnership with the global consultancy Oliver Wyman is advancing comprehensive banking reforms. These efforts focus on raising capital standards, improving governance, liquidity, and compliance, paving the way for more private banks to reconnect international correspondent banking networks. As reforms take hold, trade finance becomes smoother, transactions costs decline, and Iraq integrates more effectively into global markets, all while maintaining strong foreign reserves near 95 to 97 billion.
This is important. So, folks, now, this is important because I know when people see this, they're going to think about Iraq's reserves, 95, 97 billion. And I've seen a lot of confusion about that. I'm going to touch on that in a second. But let me get back here real quick. On the reforms regarding these bonds and their economy. As reforms take hold, trade finance becomes smoother, transactions costs decline, and Iraq integrates more effectively into global markets. Folks, this is where Iraq are slowly integrating into the global markets, all while maintaining a strong reserves near 95 to 97 billion. Folks, this is dinars. Iraq doesn't only have dinar in their reserves. They have multiple currencies in their reserves as a result of an agreement that they signed with the U.S. Treasury about a year and a half, 2 years ago. They also have in their reserve other currencies in their reserves: the Turkish lira, the UAE dirham, the British pound, the Chinese yuan, and around 3 other currencies. Off the top of my head, I don't remember all 7. But the Iraqi dinar reserves is not their only reserves. These other currencies that they have in their reserves are relevant. The digital assets, relevant. The gold, relevant. Iraq is 33rd in the world. No, 29th in the world ranked in gold reserves. Folks, the value of the Iraqi dinar is not based on how much they have in dinar reserves. Go, young man, you can continue.
Yep. Positive momentum for the dinar. These steps combined with ongoing economic diversification, including infrastructure projects like the development road and non-oil sector growth, are building a solid foundation. De-dollarization policies, mandating dinar use in domestic transactions, and expanding settlements in other currencies are already showing results, with deposit dollarization, dropping notable in recent years. Low inflation, digital payment expansion, and tighter monetary tools further reinforce stability and trust in the national currency.
Hey, Nova Knickers, if you don't mind joining us over in the room, please. I want to make sure you're already there when we get to you. Go, young man.
Yep. While the CBI maintains a managed peg to the US dollar for predictability and to protect the low income groups, the cumulative impact of these reforms could support gradual strengthening in market confidence and narrowing of any gaps between official and parallel rates over time. Iraq's large reserve, fiscal coordination, and commitment to modernization signal a brighter trajectory. A more diversified, integrated economy with the dinar plays a central role. Progress takes patience and consistent implementation, but the direction is clear toward greater economic sovereignty and enhanced currency resilience. Many observers see 2026 and beyond a period where these foundational changes deliver tangible benefits for Iraq's financial system.
Progress takes patience and consistent implementation, but the direction is clear, ladies and gentlemen, toward greater economic sovereignty and enhanced currency resilience of the Iraqi dinar. Many observers, meaning the global experts, the global observers, see, and Goldilocks sees it as well, Many observers see 2026 and beyond as a period where these foundational changes in Iraq deliver tangible benefits for Iraq's financial system. Let's jump on down to XRP. Go ahead, young man.
Yes, sir. Ripple's XRP in the Middle East cross-border payments efficiency over disruption. As of April 2026, amid ongoing Middle East conflicts that have strained traditional banking channels, community speculation has circulated about Ripple's XRP technology supporting cross-border payments transactions as alternatives to disrupt Swift rails. While no confirmed conflict-specific pilot program has been publicly detailed tying XRP directly to Swift, bypassing in war-affected zones, Ripple has accelerated real-world adoption across the region, particularly in the UAE and Gulf corridors, for faster remittances and settlements via its on-demand liquidity service.
Boom. XRP, folks. If you want to know how the Iraqi dinar and every other currency is going to be exchanged in the new digital banking system, it's XRP. Pay attention to XRP. This is the asset that moves the dinar to USD or whatever currency you're exchanging into. It is XRP because XRP is the bridge. It's the bridge asset. All right, you can read the last paragraph, how it affects XRP, price long term.
Yep. How it affects XRP, price long term. Greater real world utility directly boosts demand for XRP. Every ODL transaction requires holding and transacting XRP for liquidity bridging. As Middle East and global volumes scale, already in the billions monthly in tested corridors, this creates organic buying pressure beyond speculation. Short-term price action remains sensitive to broader geopolitical and macro risk, but analysts widely view sustained adoption as a structural bullish driver, potentially supporting multi-dollar targets if XRP captures even a modest share of Swift-like flows. The technology interface with traditional finance turns XRP from a speculative asset into infrastructure, rewarding holders as usage compounds.
All right, 1 second. Good. We're gonna pivot down to the integration of XRP and its connection to the IQD, and then we're gonna come to Nova Knickers right after that, where she's gonna share her latest amazing real bank story. Go, young man.
Yep. The integration of XRP via RippleNet and on-demand liquidity in Middle East and Asian markets enhance cross-border efficiency by reducing reliance on the USD and lowering Nostro accounts cost. By facilitating faster, cost-effective settlements, this technology can improve the stability and demand for local currencies. Ripple XRP can be used as a currency pair for the Iraq dinar. And this pairing has seen increased attention as a potential option for cross-border transactions and digital asset trading in the region.
Ripple XRP can be used as a currency pair for the Iraqi dinar. That's the bridge. And this pairing has seen increased attention as a potential option for cross-border transactions and digital asset trading in the region. That's the bridge. That's the bridge. That's the bridge. That's the bridge. Boom, boom, boom. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my good man. As always, the awesome sniper and peculiar ram. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. When I say special, I don't mean yellow bus special. I do mean special, though. This young lady, Nova Knickers, is one of our founding members. We call her I call her the funny farmer. She has a beautiful farm. You can unmute Nova Knickers.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Oh Lord, I can't wait to hear this. You have an amazing update, I understand, with your latest bank update. Give it to us. Give it to us.
Okay, well, I had interviewed, I think there were 5 before, and I picked one that I really liked about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I was listening to you and what Goldilocks has been posting and everything, I thought, why not go out there and try again? Because now I know more.
Ah, okay, yes.
So this firm that I chose to interview is a lot larger than the one that I had chosen a year ago.
Okay.
And so, but one thing I noticed was when I interviewed the one a year ago, obviously I still had, even though I came a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I still had some guru foo-foo adrenaline running in my head. And I noticed I did not have that this time when I talked to this one.
Oh, okay.
I was way more calm and more.
If people may not know what you mean, if you can explain to the people the difference between your mindset and approach before to now, so they have an understanding, because they're not familiar with our language. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, before I even started listening to you, my two friends, Sally I Am and Garlic String Bean, were trying to get me to stop listening to all those other gurus because they're just all talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all lies.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was hard to let go of it
Mm-hmm.
because it felt like I was doing something on my behalf for the investment.
Mm-hmm.
And then having to stop and recheck all my thinking and what I thought I knew. It was really hard to stop and listen to your room.
Mm-hmm.
But I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. And I am better for it. But even as I was following the 8 steps and having all these meetings with wealth managers,
Mm-hmm.
I still had a little bit of that in me.
Mm.
And
Okay.
so, I was, everybody wants to hear the key words and all the, want to know that they know. But I didn't have that this time. It really didn't matter because it was all about my investment and knowing my investment and being prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so this firm is really big. He told me that they handle trillions in assets.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think I know
and
which
he
one
was
it is.
very, very interesting person to talk to because he was born in England.
Okay.
And he went to school there, and he's really interesting. He's got that UK accent,
The British accent, yeah.
Yeah, and really, really bubbly, and like he drinks lots of coffee apparently. Way more energy than I've got.
Uh-huh.
But he had graduated in university in England.
Mm-hmm.
With dual honors degree in business, accounting, and financial management.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and he's been here since 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and he loves his job. And before he had worked over there in London for the Royal Bank of Scotland. I don't even know what these places are.
Okay.
And
Yes.
and then the HSBC. He worked over there
Okay.
in those places
Okay.
as a financial advisor and financial planning advisor and investment manager
Mm-hmm.
and business advisor. And he had a big background. He's got all kinds of letters behind his name. And so I was really impressed with all that and he said that he really likes learning and because it's always changing. And I just really clicked with him. I really liked him.
Mm-hmm. And was this this was a
so
private firm?
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so we went over, I had called, I filled out the little thing online and then waited for him to call me to
Okay.
set up an appointment.
Okay.
And when he called me, I told him, I said, on the little application that I had to fill out, there was only like a million was the lowest that you had to say that you had. It had a star on it. You had to mark something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I told him, I said, I marked $1 million, but I'm not sure how much I'm going to have. And
Very
I
smart.
said, but I really wanted to talk to you. And so I had to mark something, so I just went with the lowest one. But I had told him that I was interviewing wealth managers to build relationships and to find someone that I'm comfortable with to prepare myself and my family for what is to come. And most of the process has been in my mindset and learning to think about money differently. And so we ended up talking about my goals and about how I wasn't. I wrote notes and I'm jumping around.
Okay.
This is and I told him, most importantly, whenever I do get liquidation of my investment, that I wanted to make sure my family was out of debt and that the family was all right. And then I wanted to structure everything in a way that protects my money and grows my money for generational wealth. And so then we went over all the questions and
wow, these questions.
yes. And then and he really liked the questions, and I liked a lot of his answers. But he said that their firm they have what I found interesting that was different than the other ones that I had interviewed. He said they have a policy where their wealth managers are not influenced by the vendors. And so that just means like if they get invited to like a seminar or something, they can go, but they can't let the vendor pay for anything. They have to pay for their own hotel, their food, and everything. So they're not owned in any way.
Right.
And that made a sense to me because that's kind of how I am too. You know, you can be my friend. You don't have to pay me to do it. So.
Exactly. Right.
And then he said that all products of investment are just vehicles to get you to your goals, and your plan drives the investment, not the other way around. And nobody else had said that, so I liked that. And then they said they utilized 2 custodians, but they would work with other custodians if the client prefers, but that their custodians go through a robust due diligence process, and that he was committed in education, and had actually just then had ordered a new packet to learn and review, and it was really cool. I liked it.
What is something that stood out the most about your meeting with him?
Well, his accent, but
besides his accent. Okay, that's cool.
it was nice, but he just how I could tell by how he spoke, he knew what he was doing.
Okay.
Like there was no question about he knew how to invest. He knew how to he knew he's got a lot of people in his pocket. Like he knows attorneys, and he knows CPAs.
So he has a team behind him, and with him a network that he can reach out to actually build a team for you and your financial and your wealth strategy.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. I love it. Go ahead. You have something else you wanted to share. Go ahead.
Okay. And then he said this is another thing, that his firm has a majority employee path to ownership, where the employees are part owners of the firm. And that was interesting to me because that makes his job his own. Like he's got to like to be there because he's an owner. It's like his. Even, does that make sense?
That makes sense. I love it. Yeah, they all have an invested interest.
Yes, and so they're going to do their very best at it because it's part of them. Kind of like my farm, it's important for me to be sure that everything's taken care of, fed and watered,
Right.
because they're mine.
Right. Right.
And so I liked that. That was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And that he said their approach to financial planning is very deep, and their firm is highly relational,
Mm-hmm.
and that they only have 98 they have 98% client retention.
Retention. Ah. Wow. That's solid. Okay.
Yeah. So once they get somebody, they probably keep them.
Yeah.
And then he said they're big enough firm to have financial clout, but small enough to be personal.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. It was really nice.
Wow.
But with the guru head and stuff, I noticed that after my meeting with him, and we just met over the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and we spoke for 45 minutes on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And but after the meeting, I was just like, that was just, it hit me different because my head was in a different place.
Gotcha. Okay. You were more clear now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like all giddy and all, like what's going to happen, and because it's just,
Yeah.
and like everything in life, I can relate everything in life to horses in some way, and so I could relate this to, it's like when you have a horse bred, and that's the investment, and you're going to have to nurture that mare and put time into her care, and also prepare a place for everything you will need for when the foal arrives. You will need to build relationships with the veterinarian, and in case something happens, and you need their skill and expertise. And then you're going to wait 11 months for your investment to liquidate, and that's the foal being born. And so you just have to know your investment, watch the process, and prepare yourself for when it happens.
Beautiful. I love it. For those who don't know, Nova Knickers, she owns a farm. I like calling her the funny farmer. So you can hear that the analogy she gave. That's right, spot on the money. Wow. Congratulations, my beautiful lady. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, we are so proud of you. If you have more that you wanted to share about your meeting, you can continue.
No, I think that's about it.
Okay.
He's just a really neat guy. And he was right on it. So
now let me ask you: Are you going to? Now you sound like you're gonna have him in your hip pocket. Are you going to reach out to another wealth manager and diversify with others?
I probably will, because it's just a phone call.
There you go. Awesome. Would you like to take some questions?
I can.
Okay. Folks in the chat, if you have any questions for the amazing Nova Knickers, you need help, now's your time. You can reach out and just ask your question to the amazing Nova Knickers right now. If you have a question, just go ahead, feel free, type it in the chat. Let's go. That is so awesome. Wow, last week, Sally I Am, no, Nova Knickers, or the amazing Charlie's Angels. String garlic, string bean, Nova Knickers, and Sally I Am. I love it. And Nikki Love, she liked she said great analogy that you use with the horse. Yes. Folks, if you have any questions, feel free to type your question into the chat for the amazing Nova Knickers. And real quick, Tribe, just so you know, moving forward, when anyone is looking for the 8 steps, you'll guide them to the website She-Hulk will always drop the link to the website at the end of the chat for anyone to access the 8 steps, just so that you're aware moving forward. That'll be where everyone goes. How do you feel now? Peculiar Ram asks Nova Knickers, how do you feel now versus a year ago?
I feel more knowledgeable about what I'm doing.
Okay.
I understand the process better. I understand why. I understand what I'm looking for in a wealth manager.
Okay. Excellent.
I'm going to keep the one that I had a year ago, but I'm going to keep this one too.
Yeah, so you're going to diversify. And folks, this is beautiful what she's saying is you don't have to just have one. This is why we encourage you to duplicate the 8 steps with multiple wealth managers, and you let them know. And I heard her say it. She told them she's interviewing several wealth managers until she figures out which one is going to be a fit. That's what you must do. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And when I told him that, he encouraged me to keep on doing it too.
Gotcha. Good. Okay, we have some more questions for you. Cheryl asked, how long did it take you to have confidence? How long did it take you to have the confidence come through? She says she's nervous, and she's nervous when she calls. So how long did it take you to have your confidence?
Oh, I didn't have confidence walking into my first one, my second one, or my third one. I just did it. I just did it. And I'll never forget the first one, but because that was practice.
Right.
And but it, just try to understand some of the stuff that Freedom Fighter and Goldilocks post, and just the more you're in it, the more you're going to retain. So even if I don't understand it, I read it anyway.
Right.
It'll come to you.
Hey Cheryl, let me help you with this. So just look at when you reach out, look at it as practice. Don't look at it as with the anxiety and the feeling that they are above you or bigger than you, because in reality, Cheryl, you are interviewing them. You are filling them out. You want to determine if you want to work with them. It's not the other way around. You, Cheryl, you have the leverage. You are the potential client. So you must understand, Cheryl, that and this is where just the 8 steps is really a blueprint. It's just follow it, and don't concern yourself about what they think, what they feel. Just when you talk to them, just look at them and visualize that they're naked. That's what we used to tell people. All right, we have another question from Stephen Lido. He asked, at any point did the wealth manager ask you what your investment was in?
During the interview, no. When he called me to make the appointment, he asked me, and I told him that it's I'm not comfortable sharing that information with him because I have not yet chosen a wealth manager. Mm-hmm. And when I do, then I'm going to share everything.
There you go. That's it. That's all, Cheryl. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. You're not. And Cheryl, what you'll learn is that each time you'll get more confident. And again, it's just they're human, just like you're human. They're no greater, bigger, more important than you. You are the most important person in the equation, Cheryl.
Yeah, they're just people with a skill that you need.
That's right.
that they can provide for you. So that's all it is.
Right. And Cheryl, and also just know you can't fail. If you fall down, you make mistakes, you're going to come right back here and we're going to clean it up. We're going to help you to correct whatever mistakes, to help get you. Like, for example, with Nova Knickers and plenty of other people that already have established relationships, Cheryl, many of them were nervous. Many of them had anxiety. But they step out, they make the attempt, they come back, we help them clean whatever they need to clean up, and they move on. Now, like Nova Knickers, she already has one wealth manager she locked in a year ago. Now she's about to lock in her second, and knowing her, possibly a third. And Windy City asked, were all your interactions face to face?
No. I had 2 phone call interviews so far, and the rest were face-to-face meetings. Some were at banks and some were at firms. Mm-hmm. I just get on there and I look for names that are interesting to me, and that's who I interview.
Mm-hmm. Does that answer your question, Windy City? That's pretty straightforward and clear. Appreciate that, Sniper. Yep. Anyone else have any more questions for the amazing Nova Knickers? Quick, I have a question for you. What's the next step? What's the follow-up with him now?
Well, I had told him when we got off our phone interview that I would probably be sending him emails from time to time to kind of check in and maybe have a question about something that I've read.
Okay.
And that's where Goldilocks posts come in handy.
Smart. You got your secret weapon. The Goldilocks articles. Yes. Yep. And so Rex has a question. He asked, if you had to do it all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
I probably would have got my head right sooner. Sometimes, and I know a lot of people in the chat right now understand, it's hard to let go of that. Everybody was so invested that we're following those gurus, and kind of felt like a dream. And now it feels like a mission.
That's powerful. Yeah. Wow. You said a mouthful. Yeah. If a third grader didn't understand what you just said, Nova, can you put it into terms? I wouldn't say even a third grader. Explain to the people listening what you mean when you just said, if you had to get your head right because of explain that to people that they may not understand what you really mean.
Listening to the people on Telegram and the podcasts and the people that are telling you, oh, next week, oh, it's going to happen now, oh, you need to do this, you need to trust, you need to write out all this stuff, you need to have what were we doing, projects, and I mean, I was staying up all night long for days trying to come up with my projects and all this stuff, and it was really hard to break away from that. But there's no sense in it. It didn't make any sense. And after I kind of got my head above water and I looked, I was like, why did you ever even listen to that? Because it just sounds so ridiculous, Right. But you just gotta
go ahead.
You just gotta gotta get away from that. That is awful. Like, don't even listen to it. If you're listening to this channel and what Goldilocks is putting out, don't even bother with even listening to those people, because they don't mash. They're not the same thing, and they're not going to tell you anything that's going to benefit you and help you prepare for what's about to happen.
So in your communications with the wealth managers, all of them, all the ones that you've talked to, even the one that you chose, that you have had for a year, and this one, what you're saying is that being that you are emotionally mature in your investment now with facts, you're able to go in, communicate, establish a relationship with the actual bankers because of it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And Rex says, thank you, Nova Knickers. You answered this question clearly. Yeah. All right.
Very welcome.
Yeah. All right, beautiful people. Any more questions? If not, we're going to wind down. And the amazing Nova Knickers, I'm so proud of you. That is so awesome. So awesome. That is so awesome. This is what it's all about, beautiful people. Where you have the opportunity to establish relationships with the actual bankers that are actually literally involved with the currencies around the world in the trillions. You heard Nova Knickers tell you the firm that she's with, they are in the trillions of dollars. Yep. That's true. That's true. Not about the nail. What's up, my good man? He says, but you pivoted, Nova Knickers. A lot of people won't see the light and make new choices. Good on you for making new decisions to benefit from this market. Absolutely. Our Queen Angel receipts. All right, beautiful people. We all want to congratulate you, Nova Knickers, on your amazing meeting. I know you will get more to come because you're going to diversify, I'm sure. Congratulations. We're very proud of you. Everyone have a good night.
Well, thank you.
Be well, be kind. We'll see you soon. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Take care, Jai Jai. Everyone have a good night. Be well. Ciao.